Hey guys, welcome back to our real life scenario.
Yeah.
Shout out to all our real lovers out there. We back for another week. We back. We back. Hey. This is a great month because this is my birthday month.
Yes, it is.
This is my birthday month.
It's almost time, Dre.
And when this episode drops, it will be the day before my birthday.
It's almost time.
So this is the big 3-0 for me.
Woo! Welcome. Welcome to my welcome, and now I'm on the other side.
I had a friend of mine who was like, dang, finally, because I hang out with a lot of older people. Mm-hmm. He was like, I was tired of saying I had a friend who was a 20-year-old. Like, goodness gracious, like at least, he said, I feel like you've been 20-something for like 5 years. And I'm like, well, it's been a long time. Yeah, for about 10 to be exact.
Yeah.
Nine to be exact. But, you know, now I'll be in the 30 club and I'm fine with it. That's the biggest lie they tell you when you're a kid, that 30's old, 40's old, 50's old. Yeah. Or like what Chris Rock said, he said 56 is old unless you died, then you were young.
Yes, that was hilarious. It's true though. You're only as old as you feel. I asked my grandmother, who is 90, because she's so spry, and I was like, how old do you feel? And she said, probably in my 60s. And I'm like, that is fascinating.
That's crazy.
At 90 you feel 30 years younger. That's incredible.
And we had talked about this on the last episode, taking care of yourself. That's why I'm big on this in this next decade. It's just truly taking care of yourself. Like, you don't live a life to where you're truly depriving yourself of the joys of life, right? Because in the Bible it says the rain falls on the just and the unjust alike. You can eat kale, spinach, and broccoli your whole life, and you're still going to die just like the person that's smoking eats Cinnabons. So yeah, you got to have a balance in your life. Don't deprive yourself completely of life's joys and pleasures.
Right.
But you just need to live a healthy lifestyle.
That's right. Be sensible about it.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking to do in this next year, is just
take care of your body so it takes care of you.
Yeah, man. If you learn something, each decade should come with its own like a level up, like a new star, because you have a past 9 years of knowledge, past 10 years of knowledge and wisdom that you should take into the next decade. That's and you should operate different than what you did before. So I'm happy about that.
Good. Happy early birthday, friend.
Thank you. I want to remind people the Relationship Restored event. We're going to have drinks, food, games. It's free to you. Please come out.
Yeah.
Make sure you go to Relationship Restore page, or you can go to the Relationship Restore website to check out the event link. Come by yourself, bring your friends, bring your mama, bring your
come
daddy.
By yourself. Come with all the people you know.
There we go. My apologies. Come with all the people that you know. Everybody.
Yes.
But yeah, come out and just have a good time with us. It's called Unplugged Connections. It's about connecting with people, having fun, being around good people, and then you'll get to meet us as well. If you haven't met us before, you get to meet all the people on the different hosts of the different shows. For the girls, Angela, Cece, Bree, my wife. Yes. And it's going to be a lot of dope people. It'll be in DC at the Lion Hotel in partnership with them. So we're really excited about that.
I'm thrilled. I cannot wait.
I am so happy. Speaking of our real lovers coming out to support, let's talk about the ones who have been supporting us through the reviews. And let's do a reminder, because I know we got some people that was like, I did mine. You know, I don't want you calling me out. I don't want the smoke. So make sure on this show, it means a lot to us. And it's so crazy, like, to think, you know, we started at 0 and now we have over 300 reviews, which is like so amazing. But please continue to leave reviews. Please kick that plus button up in the top right corner so that you can follow the show. That means a lot to us, so that when new episodes drop, you can see it. But this review is going to be, I'm going to have Rhonda read it because she know who this is.
I do. So this comes from Cyrell. She says, let me say, this podcast is one of my favorites. The level of openness and healthy relationship topics and perspectives that you both bring is refreshing. Thank you so much, my friend.
Thank you, friend.
I appreciate it. And I know you're very quiet about this, but I'm proud of you. I'm very proud of you, and I'm happy you're on the other side of it. So sending you so much love.
Thank you. Shout out to our real lovers.
Yes.
So going into our real life love scenario today, we're talking about a video that surfaced on the internets. It was seen on Spiritual Word.
Yeah.
Don't know where the source of it is, but essentially it's a video to where a woman is sitting in a car. She's on a date. And they pull up to the Cheesecake Factory. And she's in the car on her phone, and
See me roll my eyes already. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
And she's like, this man really think I'm about to get out of this car and go to this Cheesecake Factory. You see me? You see how good I look? I don't do no chain restaurants. Like, we need to go somewhere fancy. So she doesn't open his, like, he's trying to open the door for her, which shows
she locks the car door in his car. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Like, and rolls down the window like, can I help you? Like it's her whip. And it even shows me the type of guy he is, that he went around to open the door for her.
It also shows me the type of guy that he is because she was picked up for the date.
Exactly.
The first date.
Uh-huh. So in this story, she tells a guy, like, I got you on camera. He's like, I don't care. You know, I'll explain it, whatever. Mm-hmm. And he gets back in the car and he's like, what's the issue? And she's like, you know, I look good and I'm this and I'm that. And you taking me to some chain restaurant. Like, I expect more on the first date and this and that. So the guy, you know, breaks down what his expectation is mm-hmm. from a woman on a date, that she be respectful, mm-hmm. that she be cooperative, and he expects the same in return, and he'll do the same in return for her and be a gentleman. That's what he feel like women should want. Mm-hmm. He showed her his calendar and said, oh, I had a date plan at a more fancy restaurant, but I text you the day before and today that I will be at your house at 4. I got there at 4. You came out at 5. To me, that's not being respectful of my time. And then you didn't even invite me up to say, like, hey, I'll be a while, you can come. You made me sit in my car. And she was like, well, it's a first date. Like, I don't even know you like that. Like, why would that? So all these things she's saying. And then he's like, you know, so this is where we ended up. And he was like, there's nothing wrong with Cheesecake Factory.
Take me. Okay. I love me old Cheesecake Factory. So many options, so many cheesecakes. It's great.
Right. And then she proceeds to try to do all this on video. And he's just like, you know what? I felt like I did everything I was supposed to do. I felt like, you know, I tried to plan something. I still took you out, took you to that spot. I'm just going to take you home. And he's like, and she's like, so you just going to give up like that? So that's just the end of it. And he's like, yeah, like, I have certain things that are just non-negotiable for me, basically. And, you know, I don't need to do this.
Right.
And she's like kind of going back and forth, like, so you just really gonna leave and this and that, like, you're not gonna find a compromise. And he was like, nah, I'm good. So this situation, I just wanted to get your opinion on it first. Mm-hmm. But there are some entitled people,
yes, indeed,
out in this dating world.
Yes, it is.
That feel like they deserve the world.
Mm-hmm. On date one. Yes.
And I just wanted to get your thoughts on that situation and people who think that way.
Just real quick, not that this matters, but I just don't even think the video is real. I think it's all staged and just a thing to create a conflict on social media. However, for those, because I think the situation could be real and it's possibly real. And I think it just goes without saying that, like, girl, stop. Like, I'm not even trying to be mean because I don't want people being mean to me like that. But baby, it's not giving. All the things that you keep focusing on, like, look at me. It's when I look at you, it's not giving more than Cheesecake Factory. And respectfully, I say that like, once you start to get arrogant like that, I feel like you open yourself up to get some shots thrown at you.
Somebody said the pink lipstick is screaming Cheesecake Factory.
It's like it's like, what? Like, even from what I can see of what she has on, it almost looks like she has on like a
club dress,
like a either that or like a sundress.
Oh yeah.
It's not it's not giving. Number 2, I just feel like, yo, being courteous is an art form. It is like, it's kind. If he took you somewhere, this is the first date, you do not know this person. If he in fact did take you somewhere that's like maybe not what you would have preferred, but it's decent and you could eat something there, but you would prefer not to come back to a place like this again, just go on the date and then figure out a way to maybe, and if you like them, you know, and you want to continue seeing them, you figure out a way to introduce that through your next communications. But for right now, you hungry, you go and eat the meal and be courteous and kind, because he took his time and his money, and this is an opportunity. If you are truly dating because you're trying to like meet and get to know someone and maybe date them and be with them, this is now just a time to lean into that and focus less on where you are, especially when the place isn't harmful. He didn't take you to like his aunt's house who was making y'all some tuna fish sandwiches that you gonna eat at her dining room table. He took you to a restaurant. I'm not against people having standards or wanting to do certain things or go to certain places, but when you are allowing someone else to take you somewhere and curate that for you, it's not exactly up to you. When you are in the driver's seat and it's your turn to maybe plan the date or do whatever, then you go where you would choose to go. But if I'm spending my money and I'm driving my car and I'm taking you somewhere, then we're going to go where I think is appropriate. And again, within reason. That he didn't pull up to McDonald's. You know, he took you to a dine-in. Yes, it's a chain restaurant, but a dine-in restaurant with, like I said, tons of options. Separate from this, I don't understand when people say they don't like Cheesecake Factory. I'm like, they sell everything. Like,
literally the menu is about like 20 pages.
It's a book. They got portion, like half portion menu. They have diet conscious menu. They have breakfast. They have
and one of the best breads of chain restaurant that Brie called the chocolate bread, the brown bread.
Yes, the honey wheat. It's so good. I'm just like, they have drinks. They have mocktails. I don't get it. Like, what is they also have 900 flavors of cheesecake. They also have dessert options that aren't cheesecake.
For sure.
It's crazy. So I just don't get it. And the only reason I say I think it's fake, unless people are just this obnoxious with social media and recording everything, why would you really record him and then y'all record each other, like y'all sitting here talking about it? It just gave cheesy and corny, and I'm tired of people doing things like that for attention. It's like the girl who recorded that she went on a date and ate 4 trays of oysters, and then the guy supposedly left her there because he's like, I told you I was taking you out for drinks and you ordered a ton of food, something that you probably wouldn't do if I wasn't paying for it. So he said he was going to the bathroom and he left her there. I'm like, is this you just doing this for get your TikTok views up? Because I don't like it. And I want y'all to stop and be respectful. Stop disrespecting people's time and stop playing with people when it comes to relationships, because it's people out here that really want to date someone, really want to be taken somewhere and treated nicely. And if you just out here to get a fancy meal, get your money up, sis, and take yourself to the steakhouse.
Exactly.
Take yourself where you want to go.
No, I agree. I think that let's say it is true, is that it's just very indicative of who she is, that you just want a social media moment. Why? If the plan was to eat and have a nice conversation, Cheesecake Factory gives us that.
Yep.
But if you're trying to have something to post on your social media and show like the world, look where I'm at, look when I'm eating, this type of thing, phone out, then you're probably not the person for me anyways.
Right.
But it just sucks that there are people out here who have that type of entitlement. And you know what the thing that's so funny is that there's no research that they had to back this up. Like, I can guarantee
Say it.
that a nice dinner on the first date do not equal. How many nice dinners you gonna have on first date?
Lots. I don't know. Lots.
You probably will have a better relationship with the cheesecake guy.
Yeah.
Versus the person who took you on the first date at like this crazy expensive place.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Because a lot of times, some people who do that, there are people who do that, and that's just how they eat, right? Mm-hmm. So it's like Brie and I, we frequent like Fogo de Chao, or Chima's. Mm-hmm. We love that place because you pay one price, eat all you want, free meat, all that stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But that's just something that we love.
Yeah.
Has nothing to do with an appearance, has nothing to do with, we don't take videos that we there. It's just truly a restaurant that we enjoy. It's a little pricier, but it's what we enjoy. Some people live that type of way. So if they take you out and they want to go to a Chima's or they want to go to, a Del Frisco's or something like that, it's like, this is just what I like. I love the lobster mac and cheese here.
Yes.
Or I love this. And it's like, this is how I operate. But yeah, some people who do that just to try to make an appearance, and then they expecting something from you after they do that in return for the fancy meal and for that exchange. And we've seen them videos like that with them dudes being like, I took you out and I spent this and that, and you ain't putting out for me. Like, this crazy. Like,
it's foolishness.
That type of thing. So you have that entitlement. But I go back to what I said, is that having these type of dates, especially on the first date, does not equal this is a good man, that this relationship is going to be great, that this is somebody that you even want to be in a relationship with. None of that is equal to that.
Very nice date. I mean, it's like a really nice place one time, and I left him there. That's how bad the date was. I had to leave. I had to leave. It was just like, nope. Man, my guy, you could have saved a couple $100 by taking me to Cheesecake Factory to get left there instead of get left here. Yeah, it's no guarantee. It's just not a guarantee.
And then it's just not representative of an actual relationship. Like when I think of what Brie and I, like how we eat at so many different restaurants as a married couple, ranging from Fridays to McDonald's, to Chick-fil-A, to Applebee's, to Chima's, to the Del Frisco's. So like it ranges.
It ranges.
And sometimes we be like, you know what would be so good right now? Some Cheesecake Factory.
You know what I'm saying?
I like the little fish tacos they got.
I'm trying to tell you, I love their Cobb salad.
They got the lettuce wraps.
Oh my gosh, the lettuce wraps are so good. The jambalaya.
Yep.
I mean,
the chocolate bread, and then the cheesecakes.
Hello, banana pudding and pineapple upside down cheesecake.
They got cinnamon
Cheesecake Factory. Call us, as you can see. We could certainly sell up the restaurant. We're looking for some ads. So call us. We love it there.
I'm saying this, so it's not even like out of the chain restaurants. That is, one of the more nicer ones.
Yes.
Like I said,
I think so.
There are it's not a, like I said, like a Fridays or like an Outback or something like. I feel like Cheesecake is like a.
Shoot, I like Outback. They got the bread too.
I do. They do got the same bread. I'm saying I like it, but like Cheesecake out of the chains. I mean, you have like the Ruth Chris's of the world and stuff like that, but I feel like Cheesecake is kind of like in the middle of that. It's not like one of the lower tier like. Chain restaurants. But yeah, let's just stop this entitlement in dating. And I heard when people always talking about it's hard in these streets. I see what y'all talking about. If this is what y'all dealing with, like I get it. I get it.
That's why I'm like, stop playing with people. If like this is the type of time you on and you're too focused on the materialistic side of dating and less around the intangibles, I just don't know if you are in the right headspace. It's not that people don't care about nice things or nice experiences. It's a restaurant I want to go to in DC. Dre, is $600 for two people. Like that is the cost to sit down in this space. I want to experience it so much. I am 90% positive that when I leave, I'm going to be hungry. 90% positive, but I want to go for the experience. So it's not that I don't want or like nice.
One?
It's not blindfolded, but it is like it's only a few seats. You sit around, you see the entire creation of it. It's a world-renowned chef. It's the really little plates.
Have you ever seen that movie on HBO?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Send it to me.
Yeah.
Tell me about it.
This sound is very similar to what you're talking about, but
it gets scary.
They was the last meal, essentially.
Got it. No, not that place. But yes, I want to do that, but I don't feel entitlement about like someone taking me there. If they do, I'm appreciative. But I can have a bad time at a good place and I can have a good time at a bad place. I just want to be in good company. I want to be in good company. I want to feel like you care about me on the date. Yeah. Not totally so much about where we go.
Well, this is the thing, is that I think the bottom line with a scenario like this too is that make sure you're dating people for the right reasons.
Yes.
Because I think there are a lot of situations to where people think that they are the catch, and they may give somebody who may have been pursuing them an opportunity. So they feel like, if I give you an opportunity, you need to go all out because you lucky I'm even here. That's what it was given. Oh, I'm dressed like this. Do you see how I'm looking? And all this stuff like that. It's like, I feel like people do that sometimes, or women do that sometimes. Like, this guy been at me. He been at me. All right, I'm going to give you a chance. But like, I'm out of your league, so you need to make sure you showing up like you know that you got something special here. And it's like, don't date people if that's your mindset. Don't do that. Don't waste people's time, and don't use people.
And don't record them with your ignorant tail south.
Please don't, Lord. That's the quickest way if I was back out in the streets.
She picked the right one. That's all I can say, because I don't know too many men that would have handled it that way. That girl phone would have been slapped down. She would have been left on that parking lot. All of that. it would have never ever went the way.
It would have been like, no, there's a different restaurant. It's much nicer. Open up a door, close that joint real quick, and you can find your way home.
And I would have still went to Cheesecake Factory and enjoyed my meal by myself. By myself. Hope you have Lyft or Uber on your phone, Miss Mamas. I've got to run. So, girl, ew.
Are you ready for our real love scenario?
I is. Let me get it pulled up here. We do have a scenario from Anonymous. Okay. Anonymous says, "What's up, Dre and Rhonda?
What up?
I stumbled upon your podcast and I've been binge watching ever since. Now, listen, I know this is a relationship podcast, but I feel like your advice can be utilized for friend relationships too. My question is concerning my friend's real love scenario. She's been with her boyfriend for almost a year, after years of him begging for her to give him a chance. They've known each other since high school, so it's literally been years of him asking her to be with him. Sometime last year, she finally gave him a chance, and now he has been putting her through it pretty much since they started. He's been cheating and basically been in 2 relationships that we know of, living 2 different lives. Of course, my friend calls me to vent about her issues or their issues. I give her the best advice I can and talk her through her emotions. She acts as if they've broken up, but the very next week they are back together. Now I have no issue with anyone going back to their person, but this has now become a pattern. We have the same conversation at least twice a month, and at this point, it's emotionally draining. I am a solution-driven person, and watching this continue is also becoming annoying. So my question is, do you guys think that it's cruel as a friend to set a boundary with her? Because I can't emotionally be available for her relationship if she's going to keep putting herself in the same position. Or should I always choose to be there for her, no matter the circumstance? Thanks, Anonymous.
Thank you for sharing.
For writing in about this.
Where you want to start, Rhonda?
I've been through this, but I'm going to save it. I'm going to save my thoughts around what I've been through when it relates to this. I think we should start with just talking about how to support friends or being a supportive friend, specifically when someone is in a relationship, more specifically in one that's not that great. Like, how do you do it? How do you show up for your friends?
I've dealt with this before. Got a lot of friends that don't listen. Hard-headed. Then they come back and be like, you was right.
You was right.
When they get out of the fog or the trance that they was in. Like when somebody hypnotized, now wake up. And then they up and it's like, oh, okay. I didn't know what was going on there. Tried to tell you.
Tried to tell you.
But you didn't listen.
No, you did not.
So the first thing with supporting friends.
Yes.
You need to set the ground rules with your friends to let them know, listen, I'm not in your relationship. A lot of my perception of your relationship will come from the picture that you paint for me. If you only tell me negative things, you know what I'm going to think about your relationship?
It's negative.
It's a negative, unhealthy relationship.
Yeah.
So you can't expect me to be super supportive of the person that you talk crap about consistently.
That is correct.
Especially if I don't know that person at all. Because all I know is what you tell me.
Tell me. Yeah. Yeah. It's really simple. It's a crazy concept. I think people think it's a crazy concept, but it's not. It's not.
And I've seen a lot of people do that. Like Bree has lost friends because it's like, oh, you're not supportive of my relationship. It's like, but everything that you said about this man has been a negative thing.
Right.
So what do you want me to support?
What?
The verbal abuse or the unfaithfulness?
Yeah. Which part?
Which part should I?
I'm doing my best here, friend.
And what do you want me to tell you that he's good, even though I don't know the good qualities?
Yeah. Yeah.
Stay because the sex is good?
Yeah, no.
That's what you want me to tell you?
I don't know. Like Miss Cleo, rest her soul. I think she was the psychic, a fake one, but a psychic. Let's just go with it. I'm not. I'm your friend. I'm only going off of what you're telling me. I don't have a crystal ball to see what's happening in your relationship.
Yeah. And I think it's important to paint a full picture. If you want advice from your friend, first know what friend that you are getting advice from.
Yes.
Somebody who either is knowledgeable and can be unbiased and, understand things from both perspectives, because they don't have to be married. They could just be very insightful too, or be in a relationship. They could just be very insightful people. So making sure you know which friend you're asking advice from is one of the most important things. And then also paint the full picture of everything, like your full actions. If you're going to this person, this is your friend.
Yes.
You should be able to trust this person if you need advice with the whole thing that's going on, because a lot of times when you tell stuff to friends, they'll be able to point out things that you probably could have did better that could help the situation, and not just what the person did. Because if you're just looking to be told like, yes, you're right, and validated in your feelings, then that's not a good approach to have. You should want to solve the problem no matter what the solution is to solving that problem. Being on the other side of this, when dealing with these friends, is I have a very strict policy. Like, I'll listen to you, but I have a thing to where I do not like helping people that don't try to help themselves. And that's in every facet of life. Friend, anything. I'm not giving you money if you ain't looking for a job and don't have a job. And
Talk about it.
Like, I'm not helping you. You're not even willing to help you.
Yeah, because that's not help. That's enabling.
Yeah, that's enabling. You want me to be your crutch.
Yes.
I'm not doing that.
Nope.
If you show me that you're making efforts to try to do something or try to be better, and you need some advice or help or tools or how to do things, then I'm okay with supporting that. But I'm not doing it for you, nor am I trying to convince you to do something that you keep falling back into.
Not at all. Not at all. I have been there. I have had to set those hard lines, and boundaries are for you, right? They're not really for other people. They are for you to reason and regiment what you can take and what you can't take. You need to communicate that you might have a boundary in place for yourself and what you expect from them with that boundary in place. But yeah, you being a good friend is work. It is. And it's work that I'm happy to do, is work that I'm proud to do, because I love friendship and I love my friends. But it's not a license to be a punching bag. It's not a license to be a therapist nonstop. There should be reciprocity in friendships. There should also be like common courtesy in friendships. I am conscious of how much I dump on my friends. I am very cognizant to be like, let me not do that today, because some people are empaths. And so when you're telling them things, they're not just hearing what you're saying, they are feeling what you are sharing. And that could be a lot. We all have our own things that we're dealing with in life. We all have our own set of joys and victories, but we also have our own set of things that we're working on and try to improve on: our relationships, our children, our everything. And so here you come with your dumping nonstop, every other day, twice a month, whatever it is. And it's like you said, when are you going to come up with a solution for what you're dealing with? When are you going to figure out that this isn't working out? And what do you want me to do about it? A person that is very much on the outside. I'm not in your relationship. You're in your relationship.
Start asking your friends that. If they come to you multiple times, instead of being like, dang, that sucks, you're right, just be like, so what you gonna do about it?
What are you going to do about it?
What you gonna do about it?
Yeah. What do you think you should do? I love that question. I ask that question in every area of my life, especially at work. Well, Rhonda, what should I do? I don't know. What do you think you should do? You tell me, what would you do in the situation that you're in? Tell me, what would you tell me to do if I was in your shoes?
Exactly.
Let's just think through it. Think through it. Like, sometimes you do also even have to frame the question like, well, how does it make you feel? Do you feel good more than you feel bad, or the other way around? Like, when you look at them, do you feel inspired? Do you feel loved? Do you feel appreciated? These are things that you know the answers to 9 times out of 10. You know that they don't feel loved or appreciated or heard, or they feel like their feelings don't matter. But sometimes you have to really ask them so that they can actually answer the questions out loud. Like, do you feel respected in your relationship? Do you think you're being respected? Let them hear themselves say, no, I'm not. I'm being disrespected. Interesting. What do you normally do when people disrespect you?
You know what's so crazy about that is that I done had people say yes to all them things and still stay in that relationship. And you be like, don't call me no more.
Yeah.
Don't call me. You just told me that you are not happy when you were with this person, but you're staying with them. Mm-hmm. I don't get it. The math ain't mathing.
Yes.
Why you still in it? Mm-hmm. And I don't got the time nor the patience. So I get you, Anonymous, like, to be sitting here listening to somebody else's situation. You trying to sell me on the optimism of your relationship and be optimistic about your relationship.
Yeah.
I ain't in this relationship. Mm-hmm. You ain't gotta sell me on nothing. Like, I want my friend to be happy.
Yes.
You telling me you ain't happy in your relationship. you want me to be optimistic for what?
Yeah.
There's more fish in the sea.
Yes.
And then sometimes you see some of your friends and it's sad because you're like, the bar that you have set for yourself is so low. That is just like, goodness gracious, man.
Yeah.
Like literally, I don't even got to know much about it, but I know it's better out there than this.
Even if it's not, even if everybody is just like the person you are with, you just gonna pick them, you just gonna be with them. I mean, swim by yourself, baby. Like I would never run to something bad just because that is seemingly what's available. I have the option to not participate. I don't have to participate in that. And on like some seriousness, I know realistically we're making it super simple when people consistently stay in the cycles of getting in or staying in bad relationships. We know obviously that has a lot to do with something within them, has something to do with perhaps their upbringing. They aren't as mentally strong as they should be. They don't have the mental fortitude to walk away. Maybe it's financial restrictions that keep them in this situation. Maybe it's children that keep them in. It's a lot of factors as to why people stay in these cycles, why they can't. When you're like reasonable in your mind, you're like, it just makes sense. Like you should just leave. But why they don't see that it makes sense. So when somebody is like that, I'm not saying don't be sensitive to it, but you will find yourself sometimes being in compassion fatigue because you are just always being there for them and they're not doing anything about it. And you're taking on the weight of trying to fix their problem and they're doing no work to fix their own problem. It is sometimes really saying to your friend, like, yo, I really want you to be happy. And I'm really concerned that you don't want happiness for yourself. I don't know what you went through in your life, or maybe I do know what you went through in your life. Maybe I know that you had a crazy relationship with your parents, or you've been abused, and so you haven't worked through whatever that looks like. But like, friend, I really need you to work through that. Friend, I really need you to get in control of that, because if not, you are going to be in this cycle forever, and I don't want that for you. And here's what I'm gonna have to tell you. The really hard part of this story is that I can't sit around for it. I can't continue to show up for you in the way you need me to when you won't do anything to fix your life. It's draining me.
Yeah.
It's my Marlo voice today drained me. Like, I can't do this with you. I'm looking at you calling my phone and I'm like, nope, not today. Not today.
The thing is that I guess my rule for giving advice to friends is I will give advice or offer insight if there is commitment and it's situational. So what I mean by that is that there's a true commitment between you two. So there's a real relationship there. You both are committed to each other and wanting to have a great relationship. And then there's a situation that you guys are going through that you need some advice on. I had a friend who was going through something, and he's like, yo, like, and it was something small that led to something different. It's like, yo, my girlfriend or my wife, you know, she had a piece of cake in the fridge. It was there for a week. And I was just like, I guess she ain't eating it. So I ate it. Then she, you know, went off on me. And
that's a tough one.
That's, you know, but it's like committed relationship situation.
Yes.
And it blew up into something. Like, have you ever dealt with anything like that? Or just like how the aftermath of it, like, I don't know what I did wrong. I apologize, but she's still upset. It's like situational, committed relationship. I've also seen a situation to where Bree was friends with this girl. She would complain about the dude all the time, all the negatives. She asked him to his face while the friend was there, why don't you want to be with my friend? Like, make it official. He said, I don't want the accountability or responsibility. And she still decided to stay with that man.
Bye.
And she ended up not being friends with my wife no more because she was like, you're just not supportive of my relationship. And it's like, there's no commitment there. And the issues aren't situational.
I'm not supportive of stupidity is what I'm not supportive of.
It's a thing that's happening. The story is the same.
Yes, baby.
Every single time.
Every time.
And you know why? Because he ain't committed.
Yeah, he doesn't want to take accountability and he doesn't want to be responsible for you. You're never going to have a good situation in this situation.
It's not. What are we doing here?
What? What's wrong, baby? You just want to hug you and then shake you.
But the sex is good.
Yeah, you know, that intoxication around sex is something else. It's a chokehold that will have you in relationships for much too long and in situations for much too long. But I'm telling you, you know, on my former platform, Friending, we talked very honestly about how people will just drag on your friends. You just will drag on your friends and you think that that's just a part of friendship. No, bro, I'm a person. Like, hello, can you not do this to me? Because this hurts me and it makes me feel like you don't care about me. I care about you. And of course I care about myself, but you're making me just like sign up for a job. I didn't sign up to be a therapist. There are people who go to school, they get education to do this. They literally will take your money and let you come in there and dump on them. But even they will hold you accountable. Even they will put questions back in your lap. Even they will challenge you to do the work. I have a therapist friend who has stopped seeing clients because they won't do the work. They just keep coming back in there with the same foolishness and expecting a different result. Your friends are not your punching bags. We don't deserve that. And we do want better for you, but not more than you should want it for yourself. That's insane.
Amen.
That's insane. And it's something that really, it really grinds me up.
Grinds my gears.
I can't stand it. I really can't. And I have had to, like I said, look at the phone and talk on the phone less. I have had to have the conversation like, listen, I can't handle it. I have had to have what you talked about at the top of the episode, or the top of the scenario where you're like, you don't balance the information out about your partner. Like I have had to ask my friend while she's complaining about her man for the 90th time, does he do anything good? Like I have asked that question, like, does he do tell me one thing. Tell me two
just
things.
One,
because it's gotta be something good there that you're sticking around for. So I just want to maybe balance it out before I say something to you. Now, one thing I will say on the opposite side of this, playing a little bit of devil's advocate, sometimes your friends are not actually looking for advice. Sometimes your friends really do just need to vent and get it out. And I think it's okay to actually ask that question. I think you should sometimes pause before you go to advise them to say, like, are you looking for advice or are you just needing to share? Do you just want to get it out? I'm not saying the result of either makes the person on the receiving end feel any better, but sometimes you're getting fatigued because you're trying to fix their problems.
Yeah.
And they're not actually looking for you to fix their problems.
That's very true. That's why I encourage people, like, first, be careful who you share your information with. But also, if you're in a true relationship with somebody, bring them around your friends and bring your friends around them. Because I'm okay with Bree asking some of our friends or even her friends for advice when it comes to certain parts of our relationship, because I know they know me.
Yeah.
So it's like when they're advising her, they know her.
They're advising her with you in mind.
Yeah, but they have me in mind. So they know her and they know me. So they know, like, well, girl, you know, you could be a brat sometimes. You know, I get where he coming from because you may have did a lot. Because I remember we actually went to dinner with one of our friends recently, and Bree was telling a story, and she was like, well, I didn't ask for that thing specifically. I was just every day like complaining about this. And she was like, that's basically, even though you didn't say it, you was complaining about the thing that was the solution that you end up getting every day. So what do you think your man gonna do? Like, he gonna try to figure out a solution, and even though you didn't ask for that solution, you complaining about, you know, what that solution was in the end. But having friends who understand you and the man, you know, or your partner, because it could be the other way around, then it allows for more sound advice because they understand the both of you all. And sometimes even they'll look at it and be like, this all y'all going through? Like, that's it? It ain't even that deep, girl. Be happy you got a man who's telling you shouldn't be spending as much money on shoes. Like that's a good problem to have. Somebody who cares about you.
Right. That's not gonna let you run it up and then have you in the poorhouse, as our parents used to say.
Like, don't don't be too critical of your partner, but like I said, don't make sure you share with people who know, both of you all. And I think that as I get deeper into my relationship, the people that I share with have become less and less, only because now if I do need advice and the things that Brie and I are dealing with have a little bit more meat to it because we don't argue about much. So if it is something, it's something that's probably a little bit deeper. I go to the friends who know the history of our relationship, right?
Yeah.
Because if I give you something just on the surface, you might just be like, oh, you're wrong, you're right, this is the situation. But if you understand the history, the things that have happened in the past and the build up and stuff like that, then as a friend, you can probably give more sound advice. But I do understand what you're saying is that sometimes you do just need to listen. Just need to be like, dang, that sucks. That's just not only for friendships and relationships too. I learned that. Sometimes it's saying, dang, that sucks.
Yeah.
It's just like, that's all that person wanted. It's just acknowledgement that this situation
I understand why you feel that way.
sucks.
I hear you. That sucks. Wow.
Yeah.
That stinks. I'm gonna pray for you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna pray for you. Sometimes it really is as simple as that, and that helps with you not always feeling so fatigued, because it is one thing to listen, and that can be exhausting. But then to try to come up with something encouraging but tactful and kind but firm, that to me is the part that drains me more, is the really trying to figure out how to assist them. And I've had times where when I ask my friends, it's like, I just needed to vent. I just needed to get it out. I'm not actually looking for you to solve it, or being very frank and being like, you can't fix it, so it's no need for you to try. I got my therapist appointment set up for tomorrow. So I'm just sharing with you. I'm just venting. It does still obviously need to be a balance. And once you start to actually sprinkle too much of your relationship business around to friends, and you told the story 800 times, it's not even just that you are bringing too many people into your business and into your relationship, but now you've potentially gotten 5 to 6 different schools of thought on what you should do, and now you're confused. Now you don't really know what to do. Sometimes the answers are truly within you. They're within your relationship. Sometimes the answer is with your partner, the person that you're upset with, the person that you're venting to me about. Some stuff has to be figured out between the two of you. And lastly, I would say, if you are a spiritual person, go to God. You know what I mean? Like, he can give you answers that no man can. Me, your friends, your doctor, no one. Like, some things just have to be done through prayer and fasting. And I'm preaching to the choir. Like, I'm in a place in my life right now where I know so much is going on that I don't necessarily like. Don't get me wrong, I'm thankful for my life and it's beautiful in so many ways, but it's a lot of things that I'm just not liking. And I can feel that God is trying to talk to me, and I need to start going into a quiet place so I can hear him. It's not for me to call Dre. It's not for me to call Maya. It's not for me to call anybody but him to show me what I need to do. He needs to order my steps. It's the same thing in your relationship. Sometimes you got to get quiet and so you can get with God on it.
For sure. And I think it's also important that you understand it's your responsibility to protect your partner too.
Like, I sound like Willow. But that was good.
That, everything is not meant to be shared, right? And you play a part in protecting your partner's image.
Yes.
And if you continue to spread this narrative around your partner and, them being this type of person, or sharing even intimate or personal things that they probably wouldn't want to be shared, like, you're starting to paint an external picture of your partner that people might have of that person. There are plenty of things that Brie and I have gone through and that we never share with anybody, just because we understand internally what could lead to certain things and lead to certain behaviors, but just hearing it without context will make you maybe look at the person crazy.
Yes.
And it's like, I'm not about to have you looking at my person crazy, because it's not even a true definition of who this person is. And I even played a part in this, even though if you heard this one story, it doesn't look like I played a part, but other parts in our relationships, I did play a part in that. And it's like, I'm not going to even let you in on that or tell you what happened, because I don't want you looking at my person like they aren't an amazing person or aren't a thoughtful person, which they are. It's just we had a situation. So it's important for you to, when you're sharing things, to understand that you have a responsibility to protect your partner from the outside scrutiny or, the outside perception, especially if there are things that are coming from your own mouth that you're sharing with other people.
Preach, my God. That's it. That's the gem of the episode. That's a real lover pro tip right there. Alexia, you hear that? That's the real lover pro tip.
Shout out to Alexia. We love Alexia.
We love you. We do love you so much. Yeah, you gotta protect your person, and that looks like so many different things. But that right there, that's it. And if more people did it, I actually think people would have more sacredness over their relationship, because a lot of the reasons why you can probably deal with something or understand something with your partner is because of the grace that you all have amongst each other. I could never love Bree the way that you love her. I can't. That's your wife. That is you doing life with her day in and day out. So it is important that you are very mindful about what you say, how you classify them, even how you joke with them, but more importantly, how you joke about them. You're laughing, but you don't know if your friend over there like, that's actually really not funny. And that feels like he really feels that way, or she really feels that way about their person. Not that the other people's opinions should overshadow much, but this is when it becomes really hard for when your friends come around and your partner feels like, what's up with your friend? Your partner doesn't realize that you've been snickering and shucking and jiving, saying really crazy things about them to your friends because you think, oh, we just having barbershop talk, or oh, we just shooting the breeze, or girl, that's just group chat stuff. That's why she's acting like that. That's not cool, and it makes your person feel very uncomfortable. I've been there, and it's not good. And then you're wondering why you can't have this cohesiveness when you have your person and your friends in the same space. Well, you've done a real bang up job of making them look horrible to your friends or your family. And this is why they don't want to be around your person.
And also with protecting your partner, I'll put this on the flip side too, is that when you're in a group setting with your partner and your partner's friends, that is not an opportunity to take cheap shots at your partner looking for agreements of the friends that this is how this person acts. Because you see it all the time. We back
and we cooking.
Because you see it all the time. And I can't lie, in certain parts of my life, I have been, guilty of doing something like this, to where you're annoyed at something that your partner's doing. You feel like between the arguments that you two are having, that person doesn't understand and get your perspective. So when you're in a group of people that you feel like know that person, you start to playfully joke, yeah, like she don't be working out. Like you throw little things in there to try to get an agreement from the friends because you feel like, oh, they know this person.
Ooh,
and they'll agree with me and let me explain what's going on to them, so that they can tell her, like, look, I told you this was going on, or tell him, like, look, I told you this was what's going on. It's not the place to do that. And that a lot of times ends worse for your relationship, because you're going to hear it when you get home. For sure.
The way I'm holding on to this table, yeah, I could flip this damn table over. Okay. Because I've been the friend in this situation more than once. And when I tell you, sends me to the moon. Do not set me up in no trick bag to be the voice of reason for an argument that you and him are having at the house, and you're setting me up. It's like and the joking thing is really nasty, right? But you also have well, let me ask you something. If blah 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 blah. I don't know that this if is a real thing in your relationship. So I could very well be siding with you, but not really siding with you, because I don't even know that this is a real thing. I'm thinking we just talking. I'm thinking we just having a conversation. And now as soon as I finish giving my answer and it validates what you've been trying to get him to understand, it's like, you see what I'm talking about? And now I'm like, oh, wow, I feel so awkward.
I didn't even know
I would
that
like to leave. I didn't know.
Being the judge and jury in this court case right now. I did not know.
I did not know. It makes me mad. Okay. It makes me very mad. That's why I was like, oh my God, Dre. I don't like that. Like, just don't set your partner up like that. Like, it's not cool. It's not that you can't have these round table conversations, but it has to be with the right people. And to me, it's just better to be transparent about it when you're in the right setting. Like, if you and Bree are with another trusted couple and you all really trust them, you all share stories about some of the challenges in your relationships. If you do want to have a conversation about it, it's really just saying, babe, you talk about it with your spouse first. Like, would you be cool if when we go over so-and-so's house tonight, we just kind of see how they feel about this thing that we've been working through or trying to figure out? So one, your partner's not blindsided by it. And then two, when you tell your friends, you're being honest, like, hey, me and Bree, we've been having this and just want to get your thoughts and insight.
It should be a mutual thing, because a lot of times in those situations, there are other factors that your partner may not want to share.
Yes.
So it could be something where you talk about doing this or going on a trip or buying this, and the financial situation that you guys are in, you may not want to share that, which would give context to a reason why you want to do something different. Yeah. But on the outside looking in, it's like, oh yeah, like, why wouldn't you want to do that? But I don't want to share that this happened, or that maybe I had a bad month or something like that. Or somebody, you might be complaining, but they have an insecurity about something. They don't want to share that they feel insecure about taking their shirt off at the pool, or that they don't like, because that would add more context to the situation. Or they don't want to expose things about you where it's like, oh, last year you wanted to do this and I did X, Y, and Z, but that would be too much information to share. So now you put me in a position of where I look crazy to your friends, but I can't actually tell the truth of what I actually feel or the context that I'm trying to give for the situation, because I feel like that would be giving too much information, and you would be mad if I shared it, and then we're getting in a full-blown argument in front of your friends.
Listen,
and I know you done been there before.
You understand what I'm saying, my guy. You understand what I'm saying? Listen, if you are listening to this episode, I am talking with just as much of my mouth as I am with my body. Ooh, Dre, get off of here. Let's wrap this up before I start talking and talking about too much stuff. Okay.
Then the friends just sitting there like,
the GIF with Homer backing into the hedges. Yeah. This is, I want to leave. I want to vanish.
Like, okay.
They are actually arguing. Look at that. Or they like, let's talk outside.
This is escalating.
You inside and you looking out the window like, oh my gosh, look at them.
Please don't give me a noise complaint. In my place,
please. Hey guys, shh, keep your voices down. It's okay. I didn't know. I didn't mean to. Listen, being a good friend, like I said, it's hard work. It's hard work. And shout out to all my friends. I love y'all. I appreciate how you hold me up and you're there for me. How you make room for my flaws and I make room for y'all's. But yeah, this is being a friend to someone that's in a challenging relationship and they won't walk away. It's one of the heavier lifts of friendship.
Question for you.
Answer for you.
Before we end this is, I want to talk about the friend situation. Because I feel like this happens to a lot of people where they get okey-doked in a situation.
Okay.
So follow me where I'm going here. This is a theory that I'm flushing out in real time. So
okay.
You have these people that get into a relationship with somebody that they supposedly are giving a chance because this person wanted them for so long, right? But then they get into this thing to where then that person kind of treats them like crap, and it's like a reverse psychology to where now they're performing for that person to try to get that person to like them as they always did. And they're in this trap of like, keep trying to be better and do better. And like, I think they get to a point to where it's almost like, I can't believe this person don't like me no more. Like, no, this is no way. This person used to be on me all the time. Like, I need to show them that like I'm still that person and I'm still this. So they're like, instead of just leaving a person alone, the more the person puts them through, the more they're trying to show that they're worthy of being the only one. And I've seen this a lot in situations where it's that reverse thing that happens.
Yes, I know exactly what you're talking about. It's a slight little, back then they didn't want me, now it's like got that sprinkle on it a little bit.
Yeah.
It does, not that the person wrote in about their scenario, but I do find it really interesting. And that's a really good theory. I mean, maybe it is the okey doke, but subconsciously of like, I've been trying to get with you for all this time and you made it so hard to get with you. And so now that I got you, I'm not going to treat you right. And I'm going to try to reverse the situation and make you on me, make you now chase me, make you now perform for me and beg me to be with you. It's nasty work either way. But that is an interesting theory. And I've never seen it in real time. Like, I don't know of anybody that's done that. But the fact that you do, it to me, that it's very real and it's very possible. And this is a new situation. He said that they've only been doing this for a year. So, I mean, new, I'm using that relative, but this is not like no 5-6 year relationship.
They've known each other for a long time, though.
Yeah, they've known each other for a long time, but you only been under this dating situation for a year and you've already learned that he's been cheating and like living a double life. Like has a whole nother you somewhere else. What if this is he chased you all this time just to do that? I'm not sure what this is the peak of it. Like, this is one of the highest forms of disrespect.
I think the psychology behind it is, what if your fallback, what if your safest option, what if the thing you was most sure of is now something that's not certain anymore? That will probably affect your confidence.
Yeah.
Probably lead to insecurities.
Yeah.
So it's like, in that moment, you'll be like, this dude been on me since high school, years, begging me. And now I'm with him. And now he like, yo, I got other, like, I can imagine that feeling of just being like, hold on,
deflates
what?
you.
Like,
trying to make you small.
This is the sure thing. This is the thing I always thought, like, if I ever wanted to, like, this thing,
Yes.
this guy would worship the ground that I walk on. So now I'm in a situation where it's like, well, what is it about me? Like, why not me? Like, what happened? And then you're trying to show that you are worthy of the thing that he was kind of given to you initially.
Yes. It's manipulative as fuck. And honestly, not to get, again, too psychological into it, because they didn't write in about their actual scenario, but that is a means of like chopping you down in order to control you. It's a means of making you, knocking you off that pedestal that you thought you were on, that I was the safe bet, or I was not the safe bet, the sure bet. Now I'm going to really break it down so that you really feel like it shifts. It shifts. And I understand the jab, because to chase somebody or want somebody for a really long time after being rejected and you still want them and want them and want them, it can inflate. It can inflate the person who's being pursued's head. They're like, damn, they really pressed. Like, I done told him no 7 times. And he just keeps coming back. It can inflate their mindset. But I just still, like I said, it's nasty work to then get with them just to pop their bubble. And I actually have done something similar to that. Similar, not because they chased me for a long time, but because they tried to make it seem like, oh, I don't really like you like that. Like, you're cool and we can talk and all, but I don't really like you like that. So then I was younger, but then I got in my mind like, oh yeah.
Rhonda put it on them.
I was like, I'm going to show you something. I'm going to show you a thing or two about a thing or two. And this is the thing. I did put it on them, but that wasn't how I got it. Like, I took it all the way up to that moment. And then I saw nature do what it does when you are excited about something that you like. And I was like, oh, I thought you didn't. I thought this wasn't you. Look at the time. I've got to run. And then the pendulum swung. Then it turned around, So I get sometimes having that feeling, but I can honestly say it's immature. If someone tells you square to your face, or they show you through their behaviors that they don't really mess with you the way they say that they do, or they don't really mess with you and they say that, believe them.
Yeah.
Believe them and don't try to prove a point.
And I think that it's not always even consciously. I think like there may be some people who consciously manipulate, right? But I think a lot of times it's subconscious, because if you think about it, there are rare occasions that it does work. But if you think about, the more that you fantasize about a relationship with somebody, the more unreal that you are probably making it in your head. So when you are met with that reality of the actual situation, it probably doesn't live up to what you built in your head. Right. So then it doesn't become as interesting anymore as it once was before.
Yes.
So now it's like, I did it. minute. We slept together. It was cool.
I don't need it.
So now it's like, this person's no longer this like fantasy special person in my head. This is just a regular girl or person that I mess with. So now it's like, yeah, I'm just now treating her like I treat all the other girls. And then it's like, now this person has built themselves up to get to a place to be with you. And now it seems like you're not accepting of them. So that's where that shifts. That's what I'm saying. I don't know if it's always conscious. It's just like you build up a fantasy and it's not what you thought it was, because a lot of times what we build up in our head is a lot more, a
lot more dreamy and romanticized than reality.
What it really is.
Yes, indeed. That was a good theory to flush through, though. That was good. Really good point there.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, to the friend. I do think it's okay for you to create a boundary for yourself, to not take on so much from your friend.
For sure.
And I do think you should communicate that to her, that, hey, this is a lot and I'm doing my best to be supportive to you, but I just don't feel like you're looking for a solution. And as a person who's solutions focused, this is weighing on me too much. And so I am going to have to either ask that you are more mindful of how much you share with me, or I'm going to have to minimize or reduce the amount of communication we have, because this is just having it's having an adverse effect on me, and it's having an adverse effect on our friendship. And I don't want to lose my friendship with you, right? But I also don't want I don't want to sit here and just constantly hear this, because I want better for you and I love you, but I can't just sit around and keep being your kind of sounding board nonstop for something that you won't change.
Yeah, and I'll end with this. She says for her relationship, she's going to keep putting herself in the same position, or should I always choose to be there for her no matter the circumstance? The answer is no. You should not be there for anybody no matter the circumstance. No matter the circumstance, no. Whenever you're faced in life with the choice of regret or resentment, choose regret. Like, and
Alexia,
I'm saying in a moment to where those are the only two options. Choose regret, because resentment is going to be way worse.
Yes.
Wishing that you would have did something versus doing something and feeling like that completely messed up your life or your situation or something like that. That's going to be a way deeper and harder feeling to get over, to work through, and to ultimately come back from than, dang, like, I wish I would have did that, but, I'll find a way to move forward from there, right? It's like if somebody needed money, a brother, parents, something like that, and you got 10,000 and they asking for 9,500. Hey, regret versus resentment. You give them the money, they never pay you back. You resent them now, and you broke.
Right. Right. Double homicide.
But if you regret it, then it's like, dang, I wish I could have helped, but maybe another time, or I'll find a way to deal with it. But I'm not messing up myself for that other person, essentially. And it's the same with this situation when I'm talking about with friendship. It's like, you don't want to give all your time and energy and start resenting your friend because you're giving up so much for them and you feel like they're not giving you in return, or they're beating you down or using you as a punching bag. You can look at a situation and be like, dang, like, I wish I could have talked on the phone more, or could have extended more of a helping hand. I'm okay with that feeling, especially knowing if I did do things to already help my friend. Like, I'm okay with that feeling versus being pissed off that I did too much and now feel like I'm in a worse position because I'm, extending myself way too much. So the answer, no, not no matter any circumstances.
I have nothing further to add to that. That is a perfect way to end the real love advice. So hope we were able to help you, Anonymous. If you have a real love scenario and you want to share it with us, you know where to find us, relationshiprestored.com. Click the contact and write into the show or any of the shows on the network. Follow me on social media at Ronnie Cake,
at SJ Smith,
and at Relationship Restored. And don't forget to get your tickets for the event November 9th.
Come and get your tickets.
Unplugged
Come get
Connections.
your tickets.
See you next
Peace.
week.